What's up, Laker fans? Welcome to part 1 of my series on the new offense. Let's take a look at the pistol sets that they ran in Summer League. Pistol is a three-man game in early offense. You'll have a ball handler bringing the ball up one side of the court or the other rather than the middle, and then you'll have a wing setting up just above the free throw line extended. The third guy is at the top of the key, and he's usually a big man. In this video, we're going to go over how these three positions interact with each other to create open shots. The first action is usually a pass to the wing, as we see here. The first option is a give and go. This is how Russell got his big dunk against Philly.
I really got to tell you, I'm losing confidence because I'm talking loud and vulgar. I'm talking vulgar because I'm angry at what I've experienced all my years through this, and I'm just angry. Everyone else has the right to be angry too, but that's just how I express myself. There it is.
While they don't run this play particularly well, it'll give you an idea of the progression if the handoff doesn't work. Ingram hands off to Brown, and then Nance sets a flare screen for Ingram. This can result in an open three at the top of the key, or a look for Nance as he rolls to the basket. But Nance doesn't really make contact on the screen, so there's not much separation created and no one's really open. Rather than rolling off of the flare screen, Nance comes over to set a ball screen for Brown, and then slips it.
Only. Baby Grand Records.
After rolling to the basket off of the ball screen, Nance can either continue through and set a cross screen for Zubac or post up himself. He chooses the latter option, although that's not a great skill that he has. Play ends in an Ingram isolation. As the season goes on, they'll be able to flow into the next action rather than having to resort to this. Pistol was most effective when Russell was the wing, and that makes sense because the most common action out of this set is that side pick and roll, so it's important to have a playmaker at that wing position. One roster advantage that the Lakers have is that they have two forwards who handle the ball particularly well in Ingram and Randle. Pistol is a set where they can exploit that. They can invert the action by putting either Russell or Clarkson on the wing, using Ingram or Randle as the de facto point guard. And while I don't want to get too far off on a tangent, you have two lefties and two righties in that scenario. In a scenario like this, you can have D'Angelo matched up with Ingram on this side of the court, with the option to give Ingram the give and go, or use a side pick and roll for himself. For both players, they'd be going toward their dominant hand. You can do the same thing on the opposite side of the court, with the righty and Clarkson and the lefty and Randle. Anyway, here are a couple plays with Russell on the wing and pistol.
No one's going to disrespect me, and no one's going to write nonsense about me without me retaliating back.
This is one where Russell starts as the point, but dribbles into Ingram's spot, and now he's the wing, and runs a side pick and roll with Nance. This should have been a dunk. He dribbles to the wing and switches positions with Ingram here as well. As Russell gets more familiar with Pistol, he'll have a better understanding of his reads. He has Ingram open at the top of the key on a nice flare screen from Nance, but misses him. This play is representative of a future step in the Lakers' offensive development. Ingram uses a flare screen as Munford dribble replaces him, as Russell did in the last two plays. But this time, instead of a side pick and roll, it flows into a play out of elbow series. Nance gets the catch at the elbow, and Munford perfectly executes a rub screen going around it, getting himself wide open. Unfortunately, Nance doesn't make that pass, but the ability to go from an early offense set like Pistol into a half-court offense set like Elbow is encouraging and something we can hope to see more of as the year goes on. Here's an example of how you can post up out of Pistol. Out of the pick and roll, you reverse the ball to the guy who is the give and go option. This gives your big an opportunity to seal his man in deep position. Zach August isn't the best guy to exploit this, but it's good action for the better post-up players on your team. All that said, this action doesn't work if you don't have somebody who can attack off the dribble in the side pick and roll. If he gets going side to side like you see here, it's not going to create a shot. But as the season goes on, the Lakers will get better at knowing what to do when the first option doesn't work. The last variation of pistol that I saw in Summer League was this cross screen action. The wing screens for the big, who can either curl to the basket or come over and set a pick and roll for the guard, as Nance does here. Pistol led to several open looks during Summer League, and that'll continue as they get deeper into their progressions and better at making their reads. Next up in part 2, we're going to take a look at Motion Week. See you next time.